Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, I want to share with you what you will need if you're going to do a manual swap on a Volvo that has an automatic. Now, this is primarily for the Volvo 850 or S70, V70 vehicles prior to 2000. So this is the information I have. I'm going to try to do a video series showing you how to take each and every one of those parts out of a donor car. A donor car is a vehicle that you find maybe in a salvage yard or purchase somewhere that has a manual in it that you want to take and use for your vehicle that you're going to be converting to a manual transmission vehicle. Here's a couple things that you should know about the transmissions that you will likely get from a donor car, and this is pertaining to primarily the US market. Number one, there was two types of transmissions in the 850s. One of them was a M56L, the other one was a M56H. The M56L came in the 93 and the 94 cars. The M56H came in the 95 through the 2000 vehicles. So the M56L is a good transmission. However, the M56H, which came in the 95 and newer vehicles, was believed to be a little bit stronger. So if you're someone that is planning on doing performance modifications and want a transmission that could take a little bit more of a beating, you want to get the one in the 95 and newer vehicles, which was the M56H. Also, the 93, the 94, and the 95 850s have a different speed sensor system, ABS system, than the 96 and newer cars. The 96 and newer cars had the ABS module. Therefore, if you do not want to be making some wiring changes to make sure that your cruise control and your speedometer works, you want to stick with the transmission that mates with your vehicle. Example, I have a 95 vehicle, so if I want a transmission that I won't have to hack into the wiring, I want to get a transmission out of a 93, 94, or 95. And if I want the more robust transmission, being the M56H, I want to stick with the 95 transmission. If I have a car that is newer than 95, 96 or later, I want to go ahead and get the 96 or newer transmission because it will mate with my ABS system and my cruise control system. Another thing you might want to know is that the transmissions built prior to 98, I believe, is the cutoff. So 93 through 97 have an external slave cylinder for the master cylinder on the clutch system. So they say that the slave cylinder is external. It's easier to service or replace in the event that you have a problem with it. And on the 98 and newer vehicles, the slave cylinder is internal, which means that if you have to replace that part, you will have to dismount the transmission from the engine to get that part replaced. That may be another consideration. So if you're upgrading a 98 or newer vehicle, you may want a transmission from 96 or 97 so that you have an external slave cylinder. Now, I recently pulled a manual transmission from a donor car. Didn't quite know what I was doing as far as what I would need. Didn't take the time to document the videos properly, so I did my best. I'm making a video series playlist that you can watch. If you go to my channel, go to playlist, you can watch what I have. As I have the opportunity later on, I will make those videos better and fill in the gaps so that playlist will show you everything you need to do to strip a donor car of the transmission and install this stuff, replacing the automatic transmission in the car that you're trying to, per se, upgrade. Now, this is a list of the things that you definitely want to take from the donor card if they're in good shape. You want, of course, the manual transmission. You want the cables that link the shifter to the transmission. You want the clutch master cylinder, if it's serviceable. You won't know that. You might just want to get a new one. You want to get the clutch slave cylinder from the transmission. It should be attached to the transmission, but don't drop it like I did and almost leave it. You want the clutch fork, which can fall out of the transmission. You want the pedal assemblies, which has the clutch and the brake pedals combined. You want the switches and the vacuum lines that are hooked up to that pedal assembly. You want the flywheel that is mounted to the engine. That's a special flywheel for manual transmission. Unless it looks destroyed, you do want to get that flywheel. You want the lines from the clutch to the master cylinder. That is a hydraulic line that goes from the brake reservoir over to the slave cylinder. You want the shifter assembly and the boots. Of course, you'll need that. And if the clutch and pressure plate appear to be new, you want to go ahead and grab that. That'll save you $300. Things that you will likely need and purchase new include the clutch and pressure plate, the throwout bearing, whatever that is, a rear main seal for the engine in case the one that you're pulling is old. You might not want to pull a transmission and reinstall another one with a 20-plus-year-old rear main seal. Transmission axle seals will need to be done new. You'll need to get them for a manual transmission. Transmission fluid, which in these M56 transmissions, I believe, is a 5W30 full synthetic engine oil. You'll need brake fluid because your slave cylinder, master clutch cylinder, uses the fluid that is in your brake reservoir. So you want to make sure that stuff has been changed. You want your transmission torque mount and any other mounts that will look bad and worn on your car. And last but not least, you may want to get a spare ECU computer, because the automatic transmission computer communicates with the automatic transmission DTC computer, and when you shifting, the computer would want to know that you're shifting so it can hold your RPMs properly. So you may want to get a spare computer for your vehicle so that it can be tuned to the manual transmission and have a spare. Or you can use the computer that's currently in your car and have it tuned so that it functions properly with a manual transmission. This is a breakdown of the cost of the parts in dealing with a manual swap. As you can see here, I have a column for used parts pricing, new parts pricing, and new OEM parts pricing. The new OEM parts pricing is buying OEM parts from a aftermarket supplier. So this is what you're looking at. Now, the parts from a donor car, if you pull all this stuff yourself, this is likely the cost that you'll encounter. Now, if you have to buy those parts from a salvage yard that pulls them for you, or you have to pay someone to pull those parts, it'll likely cost you more. My guess is if you paid somebody at the salvage yard to pull all those parts for you, you're probably looking at anywhere from $125 to $150. Then, to make the conversion, you'll have to buy new parts, and those new parts prices are listed below. The blanks means that you can't find those parts either at an aftermarket supplier, or the aftermarket supplier don't have parts listed or priced for the OEM parts. So that's what I found. you're looking at roughly $900. If you pour everything yourself, you're looking at approximately $1,000 or maybe $1,100 if you went and got those parts elsewhere. If you just bought a transmission offline somewhere, you're probably looking at $500 to $700 just for a used transmission. If you are not a level 5 DIY guy, you are probably going to be paying someone to install all of this stuff in your vehicle. My estimate would be that a shop will probably charge somewhere around $1,500 to make the conversion for you. If you get a couple of buddies together, a shop that's more generous and merciful on you, you're probably looking at anywhere from $750 to $1,000. All in all, the cost to convert one of these cars will cost you anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. Another option you may want to consider is if you see one of these cars with a manual transmission priced really well, anything below $2,500, you might want to jump on it. Again, go to my channel, click the playlist button, and find the video playlist that'll tell you how to get all these parts from a donor vehicle and soon install them on your vehicle, removing your automatic transmission. Thanks for watching. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.